Gene Mingo quit football once when he was young, but he never quit again. And even though football tried to quit him many times over, his career was a testament to perseverance. It was also about versatility. He scored points in 6 different ways in pro football as a kicker, a rusher, pass catcher, returner, and even as a passer. And the other 2 players in history to do this are enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Mingo's career in pro football happened because he volunteered to play any role. When the Broncos needed an accurate kicker, he showed the coaches why he was the best option. When the other kickers were struggling in camp, he volunteered to make some kicks, even without a kicking shoe. And he made a few kicks and then finally missed one. And when he did, Frank Filchock, the head coach, told him to get out of here. But he didn't give up. He asked for another chance, and each kick after split the uprights. And with that display of kicking accuracy, in practice, he won the job and became the first African-American kicker in NFL history. He made history that day. And even in his first professional game, the team's return man got injured, and Coach Filchock told Mingo he was going to be returning punts and kicks. And he responded by taking one 76 yards for a touchdown. And in doing so, gave the Broncos their first victory. And after that day, Mingo volunteered for every position that needed someone. He played halfback and fullback, receiver and defensive back, along with his already assigned duties of kicker and returner. And he also has a 46-yard and a 52-yard pass to his name in his modest passing attempts at quarterback. And Mingo was a good player and an excellent kicker. He led the league in scoring in 1960. And in doing that, one would think that his job was secure. But when he returned to camp in 61, there were 7 other kickers competing to replace him. But instead of being upset, he taught them how to kick. He knew he was the best on the team, and he wasn't going to go quietly into the night. He again won the kicking duties. And in 62, he led the league once more. His 137 points that season ranked in the top 5 all time, which was a significant accomplishment. But even with his talents, abilities, and versatility, he still knew he had to be a staunch follower of the team rules because he understood that the team was always looking for a reason to replace him. Unfortunately, that reason occurred in 1964. Mingo got in trouble for breaking a team rule, a rule that many other players broke without any repercussions. But for Mingo, it was a reason to let him go. And he was gone from the Mile High City 7 games into the season. He bounced around the league, playing for Oakland, Miami, and Washington. And that season in the capital city was another test of his ability to persevere. On a kickoff against the Eagles, returner Timmy Brown, got through the coverage unit, and Mingo was making the tackle on him. And his teammate hit Brown in the back at the same time. And the force of the collision was violent. Mingo described it as though he felt like somebody hit him in the head with an axe. And after that hit, Mingo played a brilliant game, even tying the score on his final kick. But he has no recollection of the game. He woke up in a hospital 3 days later and had to be shown a newspaper to be convinced that he actually played that game. After being released from the hospital, he went back to the team, but was told he was no longer needed. And he tried to continue playing and bounced around a little bit, but was released for the final time in 1970. What drove him all those years goes back to when he was 13 years old. His cousin Dean and he were inseparable back then, and Dean was a good football player. They were best of friends. And he asked Mingo to play football on the team with him. But during a scrimmage, Mingo got hit in the mouth and decided it wasn't the game for him. So he quit the team. But fate had other plans for Gene Mingo. In a horrific dog bite accident, his cousin Dean passed away. And his mother was stricken with grief and was looking for some solace, asking who would be your baby now. And when Mingo tried to oblige by saying he would, she looked at him and said, "You can't. You're a quitter." He told her that day he would never quit again. And he held true to that vow. He never quit, even though football tried to quit him many times. He never quit, even when he didn't even know that he was playing in a game. He played football until football finally said to him, "You're no longer welcome." Mingo's perseverance made him a Broncos legend and created NFL history. And that is your Mile High Legend.